When people think of the word influencer, they usually associate the word with mainstream content creators, like big names with millions of dollars of endorsement deals, nice houses, nice cars, and living off of social media that pays their bills, pays their rent. But unfortunately, that is not the case as a small content creator and a local influencer on an island like Saipan. Hot day everyone! As you guys can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about my own personal experience and what it's like as a content creator here on Saipan. Before I start this video, a disclaimer that everything that I mention in this video is through my own personal experience. And the reason why I say that is because every content creator is going through their own journey. Everyone has their own experiences, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my story and my journey. So let's get on to the rest of the video. Let's go. So where did it all begin? I want to start with that. 2 years ago, about 2 years ago in December now, I moved to the beautiful island of Saipan with the intentions of getting to live the island lifestyle and experiencing the island life that I never got growing up. I was born and raised on Saipan from the age of 4, and then I moved to the States and lived the majority of my childhood and my adult life in the States. And so when I moved to Saipan, I never really thought in my mind that I wanted to do social media. And so really where it all started is TikTok. Similarly to everyone else, I used to just casually do social media, like post whatever on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. And then when I came to Saipan, I knew I had my TikTok, and I was like, I still have a lot of friends in the States, and I know I want to share my experience of what this island life is all about. So I started posting on TikTok casually, like I really didn't expect anything of it. And then I started to get more personal with my content. At this time when I first moved here, I didn't have a job lined up yet, so I had all the free time to really just make content. So it was like what I was having for breakfast. I actually did a video on getting my driver's license, and it really started to get traction because I was posting every single day on TikTok. At this point, I really wasn't into Instagram just yet. I stopped using Instagram and constantly posting for about like a year and a half. So interestingly enough, when I started to kind of get traction on TikTok, I was like, wow, there's really a community here for people like me. And at this time, I was still very, very small. I moved to Saipan, and it was about maybe month 4 where I was just starting to create content for TikTok. And it was like, okay, like I kept posting and posting and posting, and then all of a sudden my videos started getting picked up by locals here on island. And honestly, for me, coming from the States, I don't really know people living, like coming to Saipan. I never really knew anybody. I mean, I had distant family, and I knew I had cousins. I never really knew what to expect. So it really started, once my TikTok started to develop and I started getting the hang of like what kind of content I wanted to create, I was like, wow, like I'm actually building a community. Slowly but surely, it wasn't until I actually got my driver's license at the DMV. And at this point, my mom was like, didn't knew I was like filming, and she knew that I was getting content out for TikTok. She didn't really know what TikTok was. So it wasn't until that moment that I went to go get my driver's license, and these 2 girls were like, oh my gosh, we love your videos. And to me, that was like the defining moment, like holy moly, like you can actually have a community here. Like I was coaching myself, like just keep doing the content and then keep building your community, and I can promise, like I wasn't gonna even do TikTok. It started during the pandemic when everyone else had a TikTok in 2019. And then it just so happens that I stopped using TikTok for a year until I came and moved to Saipan. So once I started understanding, like, holy shit, like, oh, excuse my language, holy moly, like, you can actually have a community here. And it wasn't until I started posting on my Instagram and kind of like multi-platforming all my content. So I was duplicating my TikToks onto my Instagram and then also having them on Facebook every so often. And it wasn't until about less than a year I started having like a decent amount of community connection and having people kind of like build trust within me to create good content. And I'm not gonna lie, honestly, when I first started creating content, it was intimidating because I didn't know how people would respond to, how I am. Like, I'm from the States, obviously. I sound like an American. I'm very like feminine and I'm super outspoken. But nonetheless, I still continued to put out content, and it wasn't about where I came from or how I was. It was about the enjoyment of the content that really drew people in. And I wouldn't say that, I don't think luck can make someone have a great community. Because I came from imagine, I moved to Saipan from the States, not knowing a thing, not knowing anybody, to like within 6 or 7 months, like my whole life is on the internet. So that was kind of like, and it kind of was and still kind of is a transition phase for me. Like, and I think it was because I never gave myself time to put a halt on like, oh my gosh, like I'm already in it way too deep. And of course, like as an influencer and a content creator, you will have burnout, which I will talk in my in videos later on. But I really started to grow and grow and grow, and the organic connections that I had with the locals here was honestly, that was my validation, was the reason why I finally got back into social media and especially started to build a community, was because I didn't have one coming here. And I still, when I started to go, when I started to increase my following and my trust in my community, opportunities started coming about. And with social media, it is the next best thing to like local television news or anything. Influencer, the word influence, you have an influence on a community and then brands start to trust you. Now, it's not like in the States where you have like corporate companies investing in marketing brand ambassadors or influencers. Here on Saipan, it's a little bit different because we don't have those mainstream corporations that are willing to endorse influencers. Rather than dollar signs, it's more about the experience. And so that's what I want to get into next, is the experience of things. There are opportunities where you can and will get paid, but it's not the kind of money, cash flow that you're living off of. So when brands started to like reach out to me through Instagram, I noticed that Instagram was the best form of getting brand deals. TikTok is good for face recognition and notoriety, but Instagram is more of like a platform that allows the businesses or your community to communicate with you via DM and all that stuff. Once I got my first invitation to an event and my first like PR package, that's when I kind of realized that holy moly, like you actually have an impact on these people. The validation throughout this whole journey, even up till now, is the messages and the comments and the people that personally can connect to you. It's because I'm still learning every single day. It's not like I just woke up and my brand, and all of a sudden I'm almost to 10,000 on Instagram and I'm at 44,000 on TikTok. Like, you don't just wake up and that happens. Like, being a content creator living on an island, it's like most of the time when brands send us things, generally we're marketing not only ourselves, but we're also marketing small businesses. Small creators support small businesses support small creators. And generally, the reason why brands are sending packages or stuff to influencers is because they trust your brand. But overall, there's still so much more that I want to share with you guys, and how to grow your brand, or behind the scenes, or like taking you guys to different aspects of what being an influencer is. But I feel like I definitely gave you guys a little bit more of an insight of my experience and what more to expect. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to share this video with all your family and friends. With that being said, thank you guys all so much for the constant love and support. See you in my next one. Bye.